Go ahead, bring him on.
Caller in the
Hello.
786 area code. Yes, you're live.
Hello. My
Hello.
name is Antonio. I would just like to say I am a steadfast supporter of Donald. I think he is a great man. Other than that, I just think you guys are a bunch of rat bastards for calling him cult leader. I'm just joking. This is Donald. What's happening? Actually, I might be a Donald impersonator. You never know with Donald. I may be a Donald clone talking. It's the same voice. Like, it's a little bit better because the clone has never smoked before. So it's like a new throat. You can sing better and everything. I smoked my whole life, so it's a little scratchy now. So what's up, guys? What's up? What's happening?
You really called it. Awesome.
Have I stunned you? Are you stunned? Are you baffled?
A little bit.
You seem baffled.
A little bit. I didn't think you were gonna. Now I have to recant the chicken statements. You're not a chicken. You've actually called in.
You
That's
didn't put
all
on
I'm
the
saying.
chicken thing. You didn't put on the chicken thing again when I asked. I was like really looking forward to it. Now it's too late now. So,
Well,
you
we're
guys
glad
want
you're
to-
here. We're glad
Thank
you're
you
here.
for calling in.
See, do you know why you guys are slightly stunned? It's because you know what I'm saying is true, and you guys are just playing around. If I was a whack job, you guys would be like, great, Donald's here, and you'd be like, already be slandering me. But you guys have probably read enough to know there's something to it, and you're like, there's something to it. You guys said that's not me on the Megadeth cover. Oh man, come on. Like, Dave Mustaine has long red hair and curly and stuff a little bit, and I don't know. I don't think I look very much like him. And that was like how much? 13 years ago. I haven't aged that much. Stay out of the sun, But yeah.
Well, this is what it is, Donald. I haven't minced words with you from the beginning. I stated our intent, and we know what you're about, and this could go good in your favor. It will either bring people to know your story. There's already people that haven't heard your story that have heard it now, and they'll either believe our version or they'll believe your version.
I don't think there's anything you guys can do that will be detrimental to my cause. My cause is good, too. In the future, people are going to say, you guys are a bunch of assholes bugging him, man. Oh, my God. And you guys are going, I know, we thought he was lying. It's all true, you guys. It's crazy shit. And there's even more shit. But and regarding the thing where I don't tell the story about the thing, well, the thing is, I was telling a bunch of stuff, and then they wanted to make me look even more stupid, so they would bring out high-profile people more and more to do ridiculous things to me, and in hopes that I would relate the exact thing on Facebook and look like an idiot more. So I didn't even really say much at the time because, weird stuff. Like some celebrity dresses up like a clown and beats you with a Nerf bat or something, right? And they want you to say that on Facebook so that people say, listen to what he's saying, man. He's bringing it out of his head. But it's supposed to be like that. That's why they do it, And I'm not busting any raps because I don't even really like rap. Not really. To tell the truth, rap is easier to make than normal songs because it's not like really singing. It's most of the time it's talking in rhyme, and you just got to match the syllables and rhyme the words. Unless you're Lil Wayne, you can just rhyme with the same word after a time. After there's certain fame, they can just rhyme with the same word, whereas a newcomer rhyming with the same word would get laughed off the stage and people would throw bottles at him probably. So anyway, what do you guys want to talk about, man? You're misconstruing like a lot of the things that I'm saying. Like he said he made Nightmare on Elm Street. I never said that I made it. I said it references R.E.M. cloning, just like the Avatar movie. I didn't make that, but it references R.E.M. cloning, right? It's they do it all the time. They're trying to rat on themselves so that they can get out of all that. Because if they come out and talk about it themselves, they're going to probably die. Yeah. So
How did your mom get started in this? Did she, was you just born and then you were just into it? What happened? Can you take me back?
Well, in the beginning, you know, I grow up to the age of 4 or 5, and I didn't know what it was, actually, at all. I didn't know what a clone was. I didn't know that people could ever do something like that. And so I wake up and I'm standing in the dirt of this arena, and I'm like, wow. I thought somebody must have chloroformed me type of thing, because I'd seen a movie, something like that, like Stranger Kidnap a Kid or something. But I thought something like that must have happened, because I thought it was my real body. I thought they were going to kill me. And they do that to a lot of people to scare them into thinking they've been snatched somehow and give them fear of death. Because when you don't know what it is, you think that it's your real body, and you're like, oh, man, I got teleported here or something, because even your fingernails, like, look the same. And, well, actually, the fingernails, if you pay close attention to your fingernails and you look at them when you're a clone, they will look different. So that's a good way to tell. I used to spend a lot of time at the cloning center. Like, I'd open up my eyes there, and I'd run out into the concourse, and they just let me. And I'd go into one of the bathrooms, and I'd just look at my face. I'm like, pull the skin underneath my eye and looking at it, because it's slightly different. Your nose is slightly different, and you know, your jawline sometimes slightly different, because you know your own face. And I don't know. I used to check myself out. But yeah.
Well, back to the question.
Back then, I kind of trailed
How
off.
was your mother brought into it? How was your mother brought into it?
I don't know, though. That's something I don't know. I think maybe she got into it the same way that I got into it, you know. But yeah, it's going pretty well. Until you guys are about to foil my plot, my evil cult leader plot. I'm still in hopes that I can get you to join my cult.
That's not going to happen.
I'm sorry, dude.
I'll let you join for free at first. But then you're going to have to sell the car in the house, sign it over to me, you know, like I've made all the others do.
Well, you do. Do you deny that? Do you deny eliciting money from your followers on Facebook?
Oh, eliciting. Well, all the smarter people that aren't from Trailer Park know that wasn't a picture taken by me, and they know me better than that. So they knew I was just joking, and I was trying to lure some really sub-intelligent shills away from my page, and it worked perfectly. I mean, I cleaned out almost all of them by looking at mutual friends and stuff, and then checking out their photographs, and I don't know, I mean, different things, and, you know, I cleaned it out pretty good, and I don't have really many dissidents. And there was a ninja back there, just to go cold. People say it was a ninja. No one knows, though, because no one saw anything. So we can't for certain say it was a ninja. It could have been anything, really. You know what I'm saying? Is Cole there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm not just talking about the dog photograph. I'm talking about before that. And,
before that.
Asking people to please help you and playing on people's sympathies, because we had some of your friends.
That was recent. That was recent. Oh yeah, I did.
Money to get out of you're in the ghetto, and that you need money to get out of the ghetto.
People on my page said, put up a PayPal ad to get people to give you money, and I was like, I don't know. I was like, yeah, all right, whatever. Put it up, and then the doggy thing was, everybody knew that was a joke. Well, everybody that mattered anyway. So, you know, it worked out pretty good.
So you're saying that that none the people that you're trying to get other people to help you, but you post animal cruelty because you don't want all the people that you're asking for help to help you.
Well, it was a multi-meaning status. It was, well, let's see. It was half a joke. It was half to use reverse psychology to bring awareness. And then it was also, I wanted to see how much concern people would have for a duct tape dog over me going through getting, like, clone tortured by crazy people. Sporadically, you know? Because I've seen the reaction from when I've showed pictures of what it looks like there and stuff, and people have made a reaction, so I thought I'd put a picture of a dog duct taped to see the reaction of what I would get from a dog. And there was more of a reaction from the dog. It was a real eye opener. It was kind of a psychological experiment for my own entertainment.
So you claim that you can use MK Ultra on yourself. Can you explain that?
Yep. Just a second. I'm going to plug this in.
Well, one thing that we were talking about earlier, and you kind of responded in the chat box, is why did you in the past change your story about the number of types of Vril? Because I researched, just like everybody else, when I learned about you, it sparked my interest. I started reading everything I could that you had said, and I started seeing contradictions where you said there was one type of Vril, the smallest type, and then you recanted and said there's two, and then changed to three. You used to say there was no aliens, then you said there was aliens. You used to say the Illuminati want you to share the truth on Facebook, and then you changed it to they're scared of aliens, and they do want you to share the truth on Facebook.
Well, allow me to explain.
Intelligent people like us can see those contradictions, and we're giving you a platform.
Okay.
Please do.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Let's see. In the earlier days, I thought that those other things were just created things because they got all kinds of created things. You've seen a few of them washed up on some beaches and stuff. They made all kinds of stuff. Sorry. And it's kind of hard to tell what's a natural born thing and what's a scientifically gene splice made weird thing. So I thought that most things were spliced things, but I was wrong. And yeah, I wasn't sure about everything because it kind of not filling me in on exactly everything because they weren't sure if I would talk about them or not. Yeah, so you haven't said anything about Tila Tequila and stuff, and her corroborating my stuff and where she's gone from Facebook now. No one's mentioned her. Not even Mark Dice has jumped on that bandwagon. He usually jumps on everything she says. If she breaks a shoe, he's there. You ever heard of Mark Dice?
Yeah, and he's another bullshit story.
Yeah, he is. He's actually at the cloning center, man. And he's like, you're not going to win, man. You should just go along. And I'm like, no. You'd be very surprised to find how many of your trusted truthers are at cloning. And seems they're all in on some kind of splinter plan that they all benefit from in the end in some great disclosure plan. But I'm like the monkey wrench in the plan. And a couple of them even said that the Illuminati should kill me. On the low, they say it as clones, right? But then you ask them in real life, did you say that Don should die, so stop talking about cloning? And they would deny it, right? There's a bunch of them. Like, you would be surprised. It doesn't cost very much to make a clone. It's like last I heard it's faster now, but last I heard it was 5 months and like $30 worth of stuff, like test tubes and stuff. And because it just grows. Your white blood cells just keep on multiplying and it just grows and makes the duplicate. There's different kinds of cloning. There's the one from the baby, but then there's also a fully grown adult they can make of you too. It's disgusting. I've seen the tanks and everything. It's gross.
This goes into it. We have a caller on the line that wants to ask a couple of questions along those lines, if you don't mind, about the. Okay, caller, you're live on Stable Radio. You had a question about the clones.
Hi. I just like to find out, like, if the clones were like healthy, and like what ages were they? Were they like in adult stage or like were they babies? Like, how long did they live for? Yeah.
Okay. Well, the first kind of clones, I guess. There's one kind of clone they don't even use anymore. Like it's on the net. It's called organic robotoid, but there's no robot parts in it, and it comes out all warped, and it's confusing to be in that clone. So they don't use them anymore. Those are REM driven too. But then the number 2 REM driven ones are what they use all the time that I'm having problems with. But then the Mark III ones are like all the time clones. Mark III and 4, they're up all the time. They're better quality clones. the Mark II ones don't like live very long. Mark II and III, I guess, they don't, like, they degrade over a short amount of time. Like their skin gets rashy, and the thing is, whenever you get the sample from someone, you can clone them at that age. Like it's, I don't know how, but I guess your blood knows how old you are, and to get a blood sample or tissue sample of you, they just make you, and it's the same age as when they got it, the sample. So yeah.
So wait, so if you use so for example, the DNA from a human at X amount of age, and you put it into and you mix it with the DNA of something that's a different amount of age, what age will the clone be exactly?
I'm not exactly sure how that works, but the thing is, when they slam your consciousness into a clone that isn't the same age as you, or that isn't like the same kind of body type as you, it's more confusing to walk around, and some people can't do anything. They start pulling out their hair, fall on the ground, and roll around. So they always keep it like a recent clone. They like to use recent clones of themselves because they act less loopy.
Okay, so do any of the clones ever go to into adulthood?
Oh yeah, well, there's a really good clone out now. They never told me about it very much. They just call it a double, and it's supposed to be just like a person. But yeah, I don't know a lot about it because they never told me a lot. But the Mark II ones, they don't last. They have to get like new bodies like I heard it was like every year, but I guess it's like every 2 years, and some people last longer, but their brain capacity like degrades. Like that time you saw Eminem in that video, and he was like slurred speech, like he had low blood sugar or something. That's what they go like when they need a new clone. And they'll say that they went to rehab. Like they'll go in looking all messed up, and they'll come out like 2 months, 3 months later, and they'll look like more beefy and skin color a little different, and they're like, oh, he just ate well in rehab. No. You know what it is.
Maybe he just had low blood sugar that day. Maybe that's all it was.
Maybe that's it.
Well, you know, he could be recuperating from an MK Ultra mind control experiment, but according to you down in Marshall, they don't do those anymore. Is that correct?
No, I guess they still do to control people. But you don't know everything that MK does. There's other applications, man. Like there's a video audio thing that goes along with it. It's called mind voice. Some people call it artificial telepathy. I heard about this when I was a kid, and I was like, that's not possible to do. You see, I'll tell you about it, and you're lucky to know, just because no one's going to tell you. Like you can read about it on the net. They disclosed it, and people are like, oh yeah, sure, they have this, right? People think they have to put suction cups all over the head. No. When you're a clone there, though, they can just put a chip right in your head and in the clone's head and read it like that. Listen, I'll tell you what the artificial telepathy does. Most people think in their own head, formulate things in their own voice in their head. They think to themselves, oh, man, I'm hungry. I could go to the fridge and make a sandwich right now. And they think that sound in their own head. A lot of people do. Most people do. Now, they have a technology which allows them to eavesdrop and listen in on that. It's a deviation from MK, right? And then there's the control MK stuff with the trigger words and stuff. That's a different like spin-off side of it. It has different applications. Now, listen, once you train with this, you can sit in front of a speaker that's dedicated to your own mind voice, all right? Now, you can think in your own head a sound, anything. Listen. Think in your own head. There was no sound. Nobody heard anything, but you put that in your own head. You can make that sound come out of the friggin' speaker because the NSA can eavesdrop in on you that hard. It's not just cell phones, man. It's terrible. You can't even think. Like, And then there's visuals. The visual thing is harder to explain, but the audio thing is just that. You can sit in front of a speaker and play your own thoughts to yourself. Now, what they had me doing, how you said, how do you use MK to help you make songs? Well, I'll tell you. I was going to tell you, but then you started getting mean, you know. Anyway, you think of a sound. Yes, you have a guitar player. I don't know how to play guitar. Like, I know chords and stuff, but cut no riffs right, with a guitar. But you have a guy stand in front of you at the cloning center, play the guitar, right? You can replay that sound in your own head, in your memory of what that guitar just sounded like. And it comes over the speaker again. And then you can twist it and augment it, change it, add to it. Then you can add a drum line in the background. You can do this with the aid of this chip in your head as a clone. And I'm supposed to have chips in my body, too. That James Casbolt guy got chips in him, too. He wants to say about all the stuff. But the thing is, and I want him to say, too, I want him to say, listen, I've been sitting there at the cloning place watching this bloke make songs and get stabbed. I want him to say that, but see, then when he goes to sleep tonight, he's going to have to answer to all the cloners as to why he said that, like Tila Tequila did when she went on this same Blog Talk Radio and talked about cloning centers. They really scared her bad that night at cloning when she went to sleep, and probably terrified her bad enough to take 5 years off her life seriously with what they did. But, yeah, she's gone now. She's not going to talk cloning anymore. And she doesn't like me now because I got her in trouble with the Illuminati and the cloners and stuff. And, yeah, nobody's jumping on that. Where's Tila? Tila's disappeared. Oh, the Illuminati got her. Nobody seems to really care. And that pisses her off, too. Because I've talked to her at cloning, like, weeks ago, and, yeah, she's kind of pissed about that. But anyway, yeah.
How is the health of the clowns? Are they healthy, or do they have like any health issues?
Well, they get kind of rashy. Like it's weird. Different types have different ailments, but I don't really know that much about it because whenever I'm there, I'm in like a fresh clone, and usually end up getting smashed up or something, and they'll just throw the old clone in like this big chipper, like big, looks like a big garbage disposal, and they just chuck them in there, and they get ground up and go down somewhere in the pipes. But yeah, they make 20 clones of you at a time and pick up the best ones, right? Because it doesn't cost very much, so they just set 20 tanks on growing just yous, and then they pick out the best 5 and use them and throw the rest in the chipper because they don't care. They don't cost that much. They just grow. Like a chia pet. They just leave it. It freaking grows. It's like they have to turn the bodies every once in a while, like in the tank, like the Britney Spears tank looking thing there. They got to turn them feet side up, and then they got to turn them head side up, and, yeah, clean up the tanks and all that.
I don't mean to step in, but I think Cole was trying to say something. Cole?
Yeah, if anybody, I see other people in the studio. If anybody else has a question for Donald, just hit the number 1 on your touch-tone phone to talk to Donald if you have questions.
I don't think too many people have questions. Like, everybody pretty much knows what's going on. Like, I can ease a couple of minds. Like, in the beginning, when I said there was no aliens, that was all part of my multi-phase plan. Because in number 1, if I would have went in my letter, see, I was really desperate to get out of this place and expose it all. If I would have started my letter saying the Royals are a bunch of pedophiles, which the pedophile investigation was not on at that time, by the way. People told me I was crazy to call the royal family a bunch of pedophiles, and then they came back later. Like, yeah, it was funny because everybody knows what they're down with now. So they're like, wow, he was right about them, and might be right about this other stuff, and all these other things keep on popping up in the news, and it's like corroborating my whole info thing, and it's after I'd already said it. So it's not like I'm digging on the internet for material here, you guys, because I kind of said it beforehand, and then they make a, this post where they're going to do this or that. And
well, what I'm going to state here is that I don't think that as of 2008 that pedophilia in government positions was anything new. I mean, the Franklin cover-up was well known as far back as the early 80s. So I don't think you expose anything new by exposing pedophilia, whether in the British royal family or the Canadian or the American government. That's really not news. And you kind of danced around the question. You were going to say something about why you changed your story about aliens, and then you turned it into pedophilia.
Okay, I trailed off a little bit.
You're fine. I know it probably wasn't intentional, but
I had a multi-phase plan. You see, if I started the first letter saying, they were doing this, and there's this other stuff, cloning, and then there's Vrils and their hosts, and then there's these other things, the letter would have been long, and people would have looked at it, and it would have been an overload of information. So I made phase 1 to include cloning, phase 2 to do other stuff, phase 3 to do other stuff, and, I had to... phase 3 was Vril and hosts, so I never actually ever did do phase 2. That was where I was going to name a bunch of celebrities, but I did that on an ongoing basis. So, what point was I trying to make there? I kind of forgot what I was saying there. I started thinking about Queen Elizabeth's face for some reason. It stunned me. So I had to make different phases so that people wouldn't get overload of information. So in the beginning, effectively for me, there were no aliens, and I didn't know which were the aliens and which weren't. Like, I knew that the Vril type 1s were, because when they mix splice things, the scales are all messed up, but these scales look like natural and stuff, and then eventually I found out all about them. They told me all about them. You're going to see them eventually.
Donald, I have a question. There was one of my friends came to me and told me to look up the pro boards, and there was a post where I guess she asked you a question, and you went, I don't know if you answered her or not, but she got off your page, or you kicked her out, one of the two. And then
I wouldn't
you
say
started.
kicked her out.
Well, and then you started to say that you saw her at the cloning center with her famous, famous cousin, Leanne Womack, and she's never met her cousin at all.
That was wonderful.
Her life.
Well, she's met her at cloning. Yeah, they talk. That was an episode. That was very unfortunate. Like, she was very confident that I would never ever bring this to the light of day, so she could bug me there as much as she wanted. But she doesn't bug me now. The thing is, that was a different time, by the way. The Leanne Womack thing and the girl from the forum, that was two different girls. But the Leanne Womack one was worse. It was something else Womack. Leanne Womack's the country singer cousin.
Who was that her cousin?
Well,
it's about a girl named Carrie Lynn Womack.
Carolyn Womack.
Yeah,
right.
And she's never met you at all in real life. She's only met you because she wanted to believe, your story, like most of us want to.
Oh, she's there. She's there. You can't mistake her when you see her. I don't know. She tried to beat me up as clones. Did me all kinds. Some crazy shit. And the next day, that night, I said, wow, I can't believe that's really you. Because sometimes they impersonate people there. I said, I'm telling everybody about this. And she goes, I don't care. People ain't going to believe you anyway. I'm like, yes, they will eventually. So the next day, she came to my page. She'd already blocked me. There was no discussion or anything. She just already blocked me. So, I don't know. Draw your own conclusions. I hadn't said anything to her. I just woke up, clicked over to the laptop. Wow, she's blocked me. And I hadn't said anything before this. So,
But why do you, I do have a question, Donald, but why do you, when anybody tries to question your motives or try to have you explain and try to, like, help, people want to understand, but you go into the defensive and you attack instead of explaining.
Well, sometimes I'm kind of in a bad mood, and I explain sometimes with, like, worthwhile questions and stuff. But if it's a question that I've already answered like 17 times, and these people can't be bothered to go to the forum and just read the stuff, like, because I've already written it down, like, sometimes 3 times in different ways, and they haven't read that yet, like, they should probably read the back stuff. Like, I've answered most frequently asked questions, you know what I mean? And I don't know, so it's annoying. But, yeah, I'm not like a tyrant or something. Like, I'm like, if I have a problem with them, I'll say, look, I already answered this. Go to the forum and read it. And it's in a category. And they're like, okay. But if they keep on bugging me, then I have to entertain my friends on the wall by, releasing the hounds or something like that. I'm really imaginative with that stuff, as you guys have seen. You can't be imaginative with a ninja, though, because, or even put up a ninja pic, really, because if you see the ninja, that ninja's not really that good. Like, the one that got Cole, he was never even seen. No one even knows if it was a ninja, really. Seriously.
Shut up. That was you. You deleted me because I was disagreeing with you on your personal Facebook page.
No, I must correct you. You have to read the post. Everyone that's listening to this should read the previous statement that you made just before the ninja dispatched you in secret and stealth. Because, what was it? It was something like, I'm on my buddy's side and we're going to oust you, and if my radio broadcast tonight gives you followers, then I'm just follow. I don't mean cult followers. I just mean people who click follow. I'm not a cult leader, you freaks. Come on. Okay. So, yeah, you said anybody that leaves my page, if you make a bunch of people leave my page, you've done your work or you've succeeded in your mission. So I'm like, well, hell, that's not being a friend. He's on my friends list. So it is true. It was me that dispatched the ninja, but you can't prove anything. All right?
Neither can you, sir.
Neither can you.
Yeah, I got it.
That's how we started this episode off. That your people want us to provide factual evidence that you're lying when they don't expect you to provide factual evidence that you're telling the truth. You have no factual evidence. They blindly follow what you say.
Haven't you guys been watching the news or anything like science and stuff? Did you ever hear of the GF 2045? I put a bunch of pictures of it on my wall. You might want to look into it. It's all about making alternate bodies and transferring consciousness. And there's a bunch of articles on my notes section of my wall that a bunch of scientists, not like you yokels down south wherever you guys are, but scientists are saying consciousness transfer is very, very possible. And some of them are actually saying it is being done. It's like right out there. People read it and then they're like, oh, that can't be true, that can't be true. But it's an official scientific article, bulletin, chips, microchips, and all that stuff.
My next question is loosely based around the idea that you watched a bunch of science fiction movies like The Sixth Day.
You're reading this. You're reading this off of a page.
Surrogate. No. This is my opinion that I formulated. I think you watched The Sixth Day, Surrogates, Free Jack, and Avatar, and threw them all into one story. If you threw Gremlins in there just for a little bit of spice, but
hey, don't forget the island, man.
See, you just admitted it.
And hey, Stargate.
Okay,
Stargate. Hey, Stargate and the sitcom. All right, Stargate 2 as well. All right.
And the fifth
element. So based around this idea from the movie,
Fifth Element 2, and the Immortals.
Right around
Class
Project Alice.
Threw in a
The
tad of
clones?
flash, but tight.
Hey, we've got
just one though.
we've got
Not
a lot
part
of
two,
people.
just one.
We've got hey, if you're down to talk for another minute, we got a lot of people that are listening live right now on Blog Talk Radio. If you want to continue listening after the top of the hour, you will need to call in.
Mama, I'm famous.
Call in on
I had
the
to, that's a shout out to my mama.
So
That's
so what's to prevent, Donald, what is to prevent people at the cloning center, not the victims, but the people that are in charge, what's to prevent them from, say, if they wanted to use your body, what's to prevent them from transferring their consciousness into your body or any other?
And they actually can. Not my real body, but they can actually transfer the consciousness into a clone body of me and walk around temporarily out there. But they'll be dizzy as hell because they're not me, and their system isn't the same. They did it to me too. You feel sick, dizzy. You don't know which way is up sometimes if it's really off. But then you talk and it's a different voice and everything. Man, it's sick. Like they thought they were doing me a favor by showing me what it feels like to be a girl for a second. No, thank you. No, thank you. Terrible.
Yeah,
terrible. Terrible. The plumbing's terrible. And the whole episode was unpleasant. And they put me into a little kid body of myself again. I was all uncoordinated, trying to run up the side stairs of the cloning center. And but my legs were short, and I tripped and smashed my arm off the concrete steps because I was running around really fast, all excited. More dizzy though, and more loopy. Everybody's a little loopy as a Mark II clone. Clones are all loopy. That's why they have those handlers. They're like babysitters to make sure they don't start biting people on the face. Clones are whack.
But those handlers are actually for MK Ultra victims, not clones.
No, they go for clones too, and sometimes the MK Ultra victims are clones. Seriously. Like it's linked.
I like how you did that. I see what you did there.
Oh yeah, it's like how I put those movies together. You guys forgot about the island though. How did you leave out the island? It's integral to my whole design.
I actually haven't seen the island. I like Leonardo DiCaprio.
Inception.
So, Inception too. Yeah, that's right. Inception is actually. Do you know why all these things correlate? It's because all these people have seen this stuff. Like the Inception stuff is the MK visual stuff. I told you about the audio stuff, but the video stuff, you can actually, with practice, you can visualize this stuff and make other people see it when you're clones, only as clones, or if the other person has a certain chip in their head. And by the way, they don't drill into the back of your head anymore and push a chip in on a rod, because that leaves a hole in the back of your head. Now what they do, they can get you in there under anesthetic for anything, and then just pop out your eyeball with a spoon, push the chip in on a rod through the back of your eye socket, right to where the chip has to go in your brain. Pull the rod back out on whatever angle it has to go in, trajectory thing, and then they put your eyeball back in. You wake up out of anesthetic. You don't know you just had a chip put in your head, and you say, oh man, my head hurts so bad, my eye. They say it's a side effect of the anesthetic. Seriously.
It's funny that you mentioned chip heads. You know, Eminem actually came back at you about that. The song called Rap God? Or did you write that?
Nope. I had nothing to do with Rap God.
Are you scared because you know that's him, like, actually, like, kind of, like, just destroying your entire, like, plan?
I'm scared because he's destroying me. You know. He's destroying me now. He was unsuccessful when he went to England to help Lady Sovereign become a better rapper, wasn't he? Her with her little ponytail coming out the side of her head. That was her only gimmick she had there. I can't even listen to those raps, man. You probably can't either. So, y'all know it sounds hot to me. You and your crew stop bothering me. I'm just joking. I'm not busting out any raps. That was just like a little joke there.
So I noticed that a lot of your jokes that you play on
Aren't they funny though?
your
I think I'm the
your
funniest
followers
man on Facebook. I'm not only the funniest guy on Facebook, I'm the scariest page on Facebook as well. So I got to put in jokes, or else my page is
You're
all the time
also
Halloween.
Astral 7 Light too, correct?
7 Light?
Yeah, Astral 7 Light. I believe it's one of your
No, that's
handles.
not. I only have one account, man. Like I get so many notifications and people messaging me and stuff. And my computer is slow. So, Tila does that stuff, but, I'm not really even that tech savvy. So, I'm not going to even play that. So, what's that? Did you see the picture of me and Tila as clones?
Oh, yeah.
It's in my pictures on my Facebook there. We're kind of naked, and they made me wear a watch that was a square. I said, I don't want to wear this watch because I would never wear a watch like this. It's a square. And the corners, when you reach out and grab something, grab your girl or hug somebody, the square might scratch them with the corners. You want a round dials watch. But no, they like squares, so I had to wear the square thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the plane of Saturn, they do like squares, don't they?
And Tila hinting about me all the time. And then
color black and the number 6.
And, I'm not going to plug Tila or anything, but, in Tila's last porn video, like, I haven't seen it, but people have told me and given me a sound bite of the end. And she says, I love you, Donnie, in it. And there's a lot of stuff coming up with Donnie nowadays. There's a new game called Stopping Donnie. It just came out the other day.
Oh, here we go. Let me guess. Donnie Darko's about you, right?
Yeah,
big,
Donnie Darko
big
about
black
you,
rabbit.
I've never actually seen Donnie Darko, but I helped with the soundtrack.
I knew you were going to say that. That's awesome.
Whoa. Did you hear that?
Donald lives in the ghetto. He lives in the ghetto.
That's coming to get me right there. Did you guys hear that in the background?
Yeah.
That's because Eminem is destroying me.
Take you away?
Yes, Eminem's destroying me in his rap, and he exposed me. And now you guys have given me the final debunking. It's like the icing on the cake and the straw that broke the camel's back. And now I just don't know what to do. I don't know where to go from here, Cole. Throw me a bone.
This isn't the final straw. This is just the beginning. If you want to make it like that, this can be just the beginning. But my point is, we've done over 4 hours of material that's going to be available on the web. And when people go to Google search you, when they find about you and they want to learn more about you, they're going to find the other side of the argument. They're going to see our side of the argument.
Cole, I already have an arch nemesis. His name is Vladimir. And before him, the name was Elizabeth and Charles, and they kind of, replaced each other over time. I guess you could just be a nemesis. Like, I don't think you're going to gather enough attention to ever be an arch nemesis, but, you could try.
I don't plan. No, I've got better things to do with my life. So after this, it's done. I really, you're going to do what you're going to do.
No, I've held your attention. I've held your attention for 2 days, and now every song that you hear, you're going to listen to it, and you're going to listen to another Eminem song that's going to come out 2 months from now or something, and he's going to say, not like I'm stuck in a clone tube or something, and then you're going to say, it sounds like what Don was talking about.
What?
Cole. Cole. Nobody wants to hear that. Cole. I'm here. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Cole, this turned into the Eminem glorifying show.
No, it's counter-argument. It's counter-argument to what you're saying.
Cole, do you know how much cocaine it takes to rap like that?
Oh, you should know because you did it as a clone, right?
I did.
Busta Rhymes.
Adrenaline injections in the chest.
Oh, yeah. Getting scars?
It actually hurts. The needle actually hurts as clones, too. and it's like slam. They put an adrenaline injection right into your heart, but it actually feels good. After that, you don't even care because you feel like $1 million. I didn't know it did that, but I'm telling you, adrenaline injections make you feel like $1 million. And that combined with cocaine, you could speed rhyme like that, bust your rhymes and everything. Sometimes you'll mess up, but then you'll just correct yourself, keep going. You don't have to get it right in one take at cloning either. It's like you just lay it down and then they'll take it from there, right? It's not always one take. You do it over again and redo stuff, replace words sometimes. Sometimes one take, though. Yeah.
So this is just this cloning center, this underground hidden cloning center.
Well, they're not all underground.
They've got all these things going on at one time. They've got raping going on in one room while they're recording music in another room and talking about Seinfeld in the third room.
Yeah, the underground bases are huge. Some of them have little studios. It ain't nothing. They're big bases, man. Shaped like upside-down Christmas trees, like for stability, like structural strength of the whole thing, like so that you don't have to support the weight of the upper floors as much. It's a pretty ingenious design, actually, if you're going to build an underground base like that. But yeah, that's really big, like football fields in there, and it's a lot of space to put stuff. And yeah, they have a few studios. They have a basketball court and all kinds of stuff.
And you've claimed in the past that they have these arenas. I would imagine the best way to describe them is like similar to a rodeo arena with a dirt floor, almost like a Roman Coliseum dirt floor, circular audience in stadium seating that they would have you as a child in death battles with other children with various weaponry that you would use, swords and spears and things of all these natures. You did that.
And fists. Yeah, they made me. I didn't want to. When I was a little kid, I was like a freaking teddy bear, so I was like, I don't want to, and then they just came up and stabbed me anyway. Next clone. That hurt bad. Okay. I still don't want to. Throw down the knife, act like I'm mad. Some Asian kid just come up and stab you up anyway. Next clone. By that time, and it hurts a lot too. It hurts just like real life. So after that, you're just going to get stabbed again. So after that, you fight. So fought. And then they taught me all kinds of cool tricks, sneaky moves, different things.
And you've also said in the past that the movie AI, that was supposed to be a Stanley Kubrick project, but they killed him, and Spielberg.
No, I never said they killed him.
Well, I'm saying they killed him. I'm saying they killed him, but you said that.
Okay, well we just have to clarify because I only say what I'm absolutely certain of, unless I'm speculating, which I rarely do.
Well, you've said in the past that the movie AI, there is a scene where the people are torturing the robots, the artificial intelligent robots. They're mutilating them and destroying them in basically a rodeo arena. And you've said that was a recreation of the arena in the cloning centers. Is that correct?
Yeah, they do that all the time. They made a video for this song I made like a little while ago when I was all drugged up as a clone there. I don't want to make songs there, but all drugged up, sometimes I just rattle it out, think I'm dreaming. I don't even know I did it. So there's this song I made like a while back. I kept it on the shelf for a while. Radioactive by Imagine Dragons. Well, watch the video, and I'm the pink bear in it. It's kind of like they always want to make videos and movies and stuff, really a lot with videos, because they don't have an idea what to do in videos as a basis for the video. So they put in a metaphor about the situation, and that is a metaphor of the situation. So, yeah, have you ever seen it? Radioactive by Imaginations, or Imagine Dragons.
I have not seen that video yet.
You should watch it. You should watch it. Tell me what you think of Pink Bear.
Have you seen it
later, of course, after your prominent radio show.
Okay, so in the same idea of thought that we're giving you your chance to say your side of the story, you have claimed that you are the Rain Man. So would you like to tell the audience your version of you being the Rain Man, please?
Well, there's not really much to say. Like, I go there. There was a couple schools of thought on it at the time at the place. They called me Rain Man because made it rain money, made it rain songs, which are money, and just ideas and stuff. So Rain Man. It's not like the autistic guy or whatever it was from the Tom Cruise movie. Not like a. I'm not like what do they call him? An idiot savant or something. I'm not like that. I just had like what they call an ear for tunes, like some kind of weird gift. So yeah, Rain Man. They just wanted me to say it in songs sometimes, and sometimes I wouldn't even say it. Sometimes they'd say it themselves. Like sometimes I would only make a verse, and they would fill in the rest themselves. And mine was just the chorus or something. And
do you mind
they'll say it
understanding
themselves. They'll make a dedication to Rain Man in the beginning of their concert or something, and everybody's like, "Oh, who's that? Who's that?" Nobody knows. Well, now you know. It's not really a good thing though, because they play me for a fool. Don't pay me. They don't think I'll ever, get out of it. But the quality of songs on the radio is drastically depleted as of late, hasn't it? Except for Rap God. It's like, oh man, that's epic. Epic.
Well, do you mind understanding Rain Man is actually completely different? Do you mind understanding knowledge and research?
Oh,
yes,
sometimes
Rain Man.
People had vids made saying that Rain Man's like the devil. They made a deal with the devil, but I'm not the devil. I'm not the devil at all, and I'm not in league with him. And
I never called you the devil.
I know it's not about the devil in the slightest. It's I think it's actually a metaphor on going to the cloning station and agreeing to stay silent about torturing this guy to make you songs, and his name is Rain Man. So they made a deal with the devil. It is me. Seriously.
Well, but the Rain Man, through my understanding and my knowledge, is, and my research is, Rain Man is a demonic entity, and there's been research upon that Lil Wayne has sold, his soul to a demonic spirit named Murmur, which is Eminem has sold his soul to Beelzebub, which is another demonic entity. But according to you, these are just clones, and Rain Man is you, that you made them songs. Is that correct?
Yeah, I did make them all kinds of songs. Lil Wayne, he sold his soul to cough syrup, and Eminem sold his soul to the Illuminati so that he could be famous and, the big label. Truthfully, I know you guys like Eminem a lot, but I'll tell you the truth. He is just, at the time of him breaking out, he is just a token white guy, He is someone for racist white people who they can listen to enjoy rap without idolizing a black person. That's pretty much a lot of his claim to fame. He's what I call, at the cloning station, token white guy. I don't know if you know what that means. A lot of people will, though.
Go ahead, bring him on.
Caller in the 786 code. Yes, you're live.
Hello. My name is Antonio. I would just like to say I am a steadfast supporter of Donald. I think he is a great man. Other than that, I just think you guys are a bunch of rat bastards for calling him cult leader. I'm just joking. This is Donald. What's happening? Actually, I might be a Donald impersonator. You never know with Donald. I may be a Donald clone talking. It's the same voice. Like, it's a little bit better because the clone has never smoked before. So it's like a new throat. You can sing better and everything. I smoked my whole life, so it's a little scratchy now. So what's up, guys? What's up? What's happening?
You really called in. Awesome.
Have I stunned you? Are you stunned? Are you baffled?
A little bit.
You seem baffled.
A little bit.
More and more to do ridiculous things to me, and in hopes that I would relate the exact thing on Facebook and look like an idiot more. So I didn't even really say much at the time because, yeah, weird stuff. Like some celebrity dresses up like a clown and beats you with a Nerf bat or something, right? And they want you to say that on Facebook so that people say, listen to what he's saying, man. He's bringing it out of his head. But it's supposed to be like that. That's why they do it, you know. And I'm not busting any raps because I don't even really like rap. Not really. To tell the truth, rap is easier to make than normal songs because it's not like really singing. It's most of the time it's talking and rhyme, and you just got to match the syllables and rhyme the words. Unless you're Lil Wayne, you can just rhyme with the same word after a time. After there's certain fame, they can just rhyme with the same word, whereas a newcomer rhyming with the same word would get laughed off the stage and people would throw bottles at him, probably. Stay out of the sun, you know. But, yeah.
Well, this is what it is, Donald. I haven't, minced words with you from the beginning. I stated our intent, and we know what you're about, and this could go good in your favor. It will either bring people to know your story. There's already people that haven't heard your story that have heard it now, and they'll either believe our version or they'll believe your version.
I don't think there's anything you guys can do that will be detrimental to my cause. My cause is good, too. In the future, people are going to say, you guys are my ass. I was bugging him, man. Oh, my God. And you guys are going, I know. We thought he was lying. It's all true, you guys. It's crazy shit. And there's even more shit. But and regarding the thing where I don't tell the story about the thing, well, the thing is, I was telling a bunch of stuff, and then they wanted to make me look even more stupid, so they would bring out high-profile people.
Didn't think you were gonna. Now I have to recant the chicken statements. You're not a chicken. You've actually called in.
You didn't put on the chicken thing. You didn't put on the chicken thing again when I asked. I was like really looking forward to it. Now it's too late now. So,
well, we're glad you're here. We're glad you're here.
Thank you for calling in.
See, do you know why you guys are slightly stunned? It's because you know what I'm saying is true, and you guys are just playing around. If I was a whack job, you guys would be like, you'd be like, great, Donald's here, and you'd be like, I'll be slandering me, but you guys have probably read enough to know there's something to it, and you're like, there's something to it. You guys said that's not me on the Megadeth cover. Oh man, come on. Like, Dave Mustaine has long red hair, and curly and stuff a little bit, and I don't know, I don't think I look very much like him, and that was like, how much, 13 years ago. I haven't aged that much. So anyway, what do you guys want to talk about, man? You're misconstruing, like, a lot of the things that I'm saying. Like, he said he made Nightmare on Elm Street. I never said that I made it. I said it references R.E.M. cloning, just like the Avatar movie. I didn't make that, but it references R.E.M. cloning, right? It's, they do it all the time. They're trying to rat on themselves so that they can get out of all that. Because if they come out and talk about it themselves, they're going to probably die. Yeah. So
how did your mom get started in this? Did she, was you just born and then you were just into it? What happened? Can you take me back?
Well, in the beginning, I grow up to the age of 4 or 5, and I didn't know what it was, actually, at all. I didn't know what a clone was. I didn't know that people could ever do something like that. And so I wake up and I'm standing in the dirt of this arena, and I'm like, wow. I thought somebody must have cloned